Hi there, I'm Dr. Noelle Nelson, and it's my pleasure to share a few thoughts with you today. Some uplifting, inspiring, and practical tips to help you find greater happiness and success in your life. Today's topic, when agendas collide. Your 15-year-old spends hours on her cell speaking to her friends, then spends hours more texting to the same friends she just spoke with, and then is incensed when you have the audacity to ask her to please finish her chores before she goes to spend time hanging out with those same friends. "Mom, Dad," she wails, "you are so unfair. You never want me to spend any time with my friends." Still trying to live up to TV's rendition of the understanding parent, you point out that you're only asking for 10 minutes of her time and that she just spent 4 hours of that time with friends on various communication devices. "You don't understand anything," she cries out. "These are my friends. I have to see them." Checking her cell, which is pinged at least 3 times in the last 5 minutes. "See, they're texting me. They need me." "Well, I need you too," you say, exasperated and out of patience. "It'll take you less time to finish your chores rather than stand there and argue with me about them." "Oh, fine," your daughter practically spits the words out. "Fine, if that's the way you want it." And off she stomps, banging doors, muttering insults and threats of doom as she goes about the unbelievably tedious tasks of making her bed and cleaning up the kitty litter. You sigh. Whatever happened to that innocent and lovely child who used to want to help you, who took pleasure in just being around you and pitching in whenever you asked? Your son's no different. He's just more sullen and screamy, but it's the same battle. So what do? Wait for them to grow up and come to their senses? That would be fine, except you have to survive the growing up part. Instead, what might be helpful is for you to start by recognizing that you and your teenage kids have very different agendas. A teenager's primary focus is their peers. Developmentally speaking, a teenager is sorting out their identity, who they are. And as your teen is going about the confusing task of figuring out who they are, the one thing your teen is most emphatically sure of is they don't want to be you. Everything else in their identity may be up for grabs, but that person is certain. Your teenager may occasionally look to a cool adult as a role model, but their steady day-in, day-out diet of who they look to for direction in their life is their peer group. Their agenda is to be as much like and spend as much time as possible with their friends, and to be as little like and spend as little time as humanly possible with you. Meanwhile, all you're trying to do is get the chores done. Yeah, well, maybe also help your child learn a little about responsibility in the process. But could anything be further away from your teen's desires? I mean, come on, learn from an adult to act like an adult? Horrors. Clearly, you have 2 very different agendas. So how do you deal with this? First of all, by acknowledging, both to yourself and to your child, that there are 2 different agendas operating here. For example, saying, "I know your friends are very important to you and that you want to spend as much time as possible with them, and that's fine. I respect that." You've now acknowledged your teen's agenda. Now acknowledge your own. "What's important to me," you say, "is to have all of us participate in taking care of ourselves at our home. I'd like you to respect that." Your teen will probably respond with something mildly sarcastic, like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." But the groundwork has been laid. You're no longer arguing about whose agenda is right. Now you can get on to the negotiating phase. Please do your chores quickly now so you can be with your friends as soon as possible. There's an implied negotiation there. Do what I ask, you can have what you want. Notice I did not use the word "but" anywhere in that communication. When you use the word "but," as in, "Well, that's important to you, but this is important to me," people's response is frequently an automatic, knee-jerk, defensive no. Parenting is, without question, the most difficult job in the world. Recognizing the different agendas you and your child may have is one way to make it a little bit easier. Or, as Oscar Wilde famously said, the best way to make children good is to make them happy. Thank you for listening to Up, and check out my new book, Phoenix Rising: Surviving Catastrophic Loss, Fires, Floods, Hurricanes, and Tornadoes. If you'd like more uplifting, inspiring, practical tips and techniques, please visit my website, noelnelson.com, or take a look at my Meet the Amazings Facebook page. Until next time, be well and take care.